Facebook, what's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of J Spot. Oh, first and foremost, Happy New Year. Happy 2017 to everyone out there. You know, hopefully it's a good year for you. And, you know, you get everything you ask for and everything your heart desires. But I'm glad to, see we into a new year. And, we back at it with J Spot. I'm going to give it a little time for people to get on, for people to get in the house, for people to settle in. You know how that go. But tonight, the topic for tonight is the ups and downs of family. Like, what's the meaning of family nowadays? If you ask me, it changed. It's not the same anymore. How it used to be. So, we're going to talk about that. We're going to see, what's the ups and downs about family? Like, what's going on? Why family can't be family anymore, like how it used to be. So we're going to talk about that tonight on J Spot. But at the bottom of the screen, if you can, click the share button. So, when you log on to the site, you can share it out to your friends on your Facebook list, and we get this going viral, so we could spread some love out there. But I hope everyone enjoyed their new year. I hope everyone brought it in the right way. Me, myself, I actually brought it in church. So that's the right way right there for me. But I brought it in church, and it was a good feeling. It was a good vibes, good everything. It was just love. So, I fell back from the bringing it in the clubs, or in the lounges, in the strip spots. I fell back from all of that. So, yeah, this year I brought it in church. So, we're waiting for people to get on so they could log on and check out episode 6 of J Spot. As I said a little while ago, if you could click the share button, share this out to your peoples or your friends or your Facebook list. The B2B network is, it's getting out there. Like, it's picking up. We just want to, let everyone catch on to it as much as possible, because, we be talking that real stuff that, other like networks probably won't even talk about. They'll just beat around the bush. We ain't here to beat around the bush. We here to talk that real stuff. And as I said numerous times again, I got a mouth, and I'm gonna let my mouth be heard, and I'm gonna talk that talk. But this is the third day into 2017. And it feel good. It feels like it's gonna be a good year. I mean, I hope it be a good year for everyone that, who probably had a bad 2016 and they just want a good 2017. So hopefully it'll be a good year for everyone, and, to get what their heart desire. And, but for those who's now getting on, if you could click the share button at the bottom of the screen, and, we just get this circulating to all the friends on the Facebook. Happy New Year, Keisha. Thank you for tuning in. Episode number 6. Thank you. So as I stated earlier, the topic we're talking about is the ups and downs of family. Like what's the meaning of family like nowadays? Because it's like actually it ain't the same anymore. Like families back in the days, like it was family. You know, if you had your ups and downs, you know, you could work it out. But it's like now, how it's going with this time and age and with this generation, like nobody values family anymore, as well as nobody values loyalty anymore. And I was brought up heavy on that, on family and loyalty. But it's like nowadays, like nobody cares about the two. Everybody just doing their own little thing. They, they just doing their own little thing. They don't value it no more. And I value family and loyalty like like it's just crazy. I value it. But we need to get back to that old stage in life where, family and loyalty was everything. It's like now family is not family anymore. Like you got siblings that's, not talking. You got cousins that's not talking to one another. You basically just got family not, excuse my language, but you just got family not fucking with family. And it's crazy because they setting bad examples, because with this generation that we got coming up, like we can't have these kids seeing, oh, auntie such and such don't talk to auntie such and such, or cousin such and such don't talk to cousin such and such, because then the kids gonna feel, that's the way to go. Like, I don't gotta talk to my cousin. Like, oh, but my mother don't talk to her mother, so I don't gotta talk to him, or I don't gotta talk to her. And then, the cycle just keep going. When in all actuality, it needs to be broken. Like, we don't need all this negativity, like, with these families. It's sad, but, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I can speak off experience, but, I ain't even gonna put everything out there, because, this show is not to be, talking about other people or putting their business out there, throwing them under the bus. So we ain't even gonna touch that. But growing up for me, family was everything. You had a disagreement with your cousin. You have a disagreement with your cousin. You probably won't talk to your cousin for like a day or two. But then when you see your cousin again, you going over to your cousin like, yo, we ain't speaking a couple days or a couple weeks. Like, yo, that was bullshit. Like, we stopped talking over, like, let's dead that. But nowadays, like, if you're not talking to your family members, like, that shit goes on for years. That shit goes on for years. Like, it's like they just not fucking with each other. And you be like, yo, how long you haven't talked to your cousin? Like 10 years. You like, what? That's your cousin and you ain't talked to your cousin in 10 years? It is what it is. Like, that's how shit played out nowadays. That's how shit is looking. Jealousy plays a role in some families. Yeah, absolutely right. You are absolutely right, Keisha. Jealousy do play a role in some families. You're absolutely right. Makesa, shout out to Makesa. Thank you for tuning in. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all those that's tuning in. Miller. Oh, great topic. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate you all for tuning in, actually. Thank you. But, we basically, at the bottom of the screen, before I forget, if you could click the share button so we could, like, share this to, throughout Facebook, and, you got the thumbs up, or you got the hearts on the bottom of your screen. So, if you see, if you hear something that catches your attention that you like, just, click the thumbs up or the heart button. Just show love and support. I appreciate it. But, yeah, like, nowadays with family, like, it's not the same anymore. Because, as Keisha just stated, like, jealousy do play a role in some families. Like, you might have a cousin that's jealous of the other cousin just because one cousin has a car, or just because one cousin is pushing a Range Rover. And then You just jealous of that person when you should just be like, yo, like that cousin is doing her thing or doing his thing. Like jealousy really shouldn't play a role in families, but nowadays that's what it's looking like. Like jealousy really do play a role. And then they be jealous over nonsense. They be jealous over nonsense. Like it's like you jealous over because that girl got a Range Rover. You jealous over that dude just because he got some Balmain jeans on or some, I don't know, like a Hermes belt. Like you really jealous of people over that? Like that's minor stuff. That's petty. Salute Tamara. Thank you for tuning in. Nah, you're not the only one who felt this way. Like this is real life. Like people don't talk about these things, but like I said earlier, I'm gonna talk about it. I got a mouth and I'm gonna let it be heard. And it's true. Like jealousy, it's crazy. Jealousy really shouldn't be playing no role in any family. Family should be happy for one another. Family should uplift one another. Family should be there for one another. But guess what? Nowadays, you don't got that anymore. You don't have that anymore. It's like, that's played out. It's really played out. Because, I remember as well, like, back in the days, like, family stuck together. You feel me? Families stuck together. Families wouldn't turn their back on families. Family wouldn't leave other family members out there to left for dead or, left out there struggling or whatever. But nowadays in this generation we got, like, families is only, correction, some families are only for themselves. They're selfish. They can have like $500 and, know a cousin is going through something, knowing they can help out. And they just like, well, that ain't me. So I'm keeping my $500 in my pocket. Back in the days, like you got $500 and you going through something, you have a family member that either aunt, or uncle, or cousin, whoever, whatever. They'll call you up and like, yo, I heard you going through something. You didn't tell me personally, but I got a couple dollars if you need it. That's how families was back in the days. Nowadays, these families are selfish. They could care less. They rather see you out there homeless. They rather see you out there hurting. Shit really changed over the years. Like, and honestly, I would have never in a million years never in a million years thought stuff would have changed. Like I lie to you not, like I really thought things would have stayed the same like how it was back in the 90s. Like really and truly, I really thought things would have stayed the same. But, you get older, years go by and stuff change slowly but surely. But, like that's where we at with this. We talking about the ups and downs of families. Like literally the ups and downs of families. Like you could have you could have like disagreement with a family member and it don't, y'all just don't talk for a couple days. But then y'all see each other at like a family function and y'all go and y'all bury the hatchet. Y'all be like, yo, we wasn't talking over something petty. Like we family, we blood. And then you sweep that under the rug and you get back to y'all being family. But nowadays, like, you got a disagreement with a family member, like, that shit is rolling over for years and years to come. Oh, and another thing, too. What I've noticed and I've seen, because I've seen it in my own family. I'm not even going to lie to you. I've seen it in my own family. If you have a disagreement, with your family member, you're grown. You should not have kids not talking to other family members because the parents are not talking. Like, that's a no-no. If two aunts aren't talking with your two sisters, but if sisters aren't talking and they got kids, don't brainwash your kids and tell your kids like, yo, don't talk to your cousin. Because at the end of the day, y'all two are sisters. Y'all might not ever talk again. Granted, y'all might not ever talk again. But You brainwash them kids, so now them kids feel it's okay not to talk to their cousin. Because they're like, oh, my mother don't talk to your mother, so I don't got to talk to you. And that's a no-no. And I lie to you not. Like, I've seen that with a lot of families. That even goes on in my family. And that's lame. Because if two sisters aren't talking or two brothers aren't talking and they have kids, kids, don't tell your kids not to talk to your sister's son or daughter, or to your brother's son or daughter. Like, that's lame. Because that's how y'all repeating the cycle, because y'all two not talking. So now the kids feel it's good for them not to talk to their cousins. Then next thing you know, those kids have kids, and then they brainwashing their kids to not talk to, like, come on. It's just only going to repeat itself. It's only going to repeat itself. Yeah, that is childish, Makesa. That's very childish. Social media has effects on all relationship types. That's also true. Social media play a big part in a lot of situations that's going on. Social media, it's like it play a big part. I have a comment. I'm sorry from Keisha. It's crazy because I was raised that blood is thicker than water, but now it's like water is thicker than blood. That's true. So true. It's sad but true. A person will rather die for friends and even people that talk about them, but let something come up against a family member. Key statement. That's what they get. That's what they get. It's a shame. Yeah, you're right. It is a shame. It's a shame and it's sad. Because I was taught that too. I was raised blood is thicker than water, but now water is thicker than blood. It's like you got family, but you're putting your friends before your family. But then notice you get jammed up in something. Majority of the time, who you calling? Your family. I mean, granted, you might have some ride or die friends that you get in a jam, call them up like, yo, my bail is like 1,000. And they'll come and hold you down. You're right. You got some friends that's like that. Me, myself, personally, I have some friends that's like that. I'm not even gonna lie. But at the end of the day, like, family is family. Family is family at the end of the day. I mean, you might not agree with your family members. Like, I have family members I don't agree with certain situations or whatever, discussions, whatever. But at the end of the day, that's still my cousin. At the end of the day, that's still my aunt. At the end of the day, that's still my sister. That's still my brother. Like I said, you might not talk for a couple days. It might last for a week. It might last for months. But then you got to put that pride aside and be like, yo, that's my family right there. And you just go over there and bury the hatchet, be the bigger person. But that's the thing with families nowadays. Nobody can be the bigger person. Everybody want to be tough. Everybody want to feel like, I ain't talking to him. I ain't talking to her. Like, he know what he did to me. She know what she did to me. I ain't being the bigger person. Like, that's childish. And it's true what they say. Like, it's hard to be the bigger person because people feel like if you be the bigger person, like, you're a punk, you're a chump, you're soft. I mean, people have all types of wording for it. But at the end of the day, when that family, God forbid, if that family member died, you're going to be bawling your eyes out. And the last memory you want to have is, yo, I was beefing with this person, especially over something that's petty. Like, come on, let's be real here. Like, you really want to stop talking to your cousin over, I don't know, she thinks she all that, or he think he all that just because he got a nice car, or he or she just got their degree. They think they're all that. No. In all honesty, you think they're all that because you're making it an issue. If they're not making it an issue, then it's not an issue. But you're making it an issue because you're bringing it up. Like, you're constantly bringing it up, and then you're feeling the way about it because it's playing in on your heart. So you feel just because you didn't accomplish certain things that person accomplished, you feel they better than you. If they didn't come out and say they're better than you, they're not better than you. But you feel that they're better than you because you feel that they're better than you. Like, it's childish. Like Makesa said, it's really childish. Families need to stick together. Families need to come together. Like, families need to be family. Like a little something I'm gonna throw out there about my family. Like when my grandmother, my mother's mother, when she passed, my grandmother, she kept the family together. People that weren't talking to one another, she made them talk. She would call them up on a three-way. Like, if y'all know grandmothers, y'all know how grandmothers give it up. They don't play. If they hear two daughters of theirs not talking, they calling up both daughters like, yo, I made y'all. Like, I pushed out and y'all not talking. Like, nah. Y'all talk to each other. Matter of fact, y'all come to my house and y'all go talk to each other in front of me. Now, you have some grandmothers that give it up like that. Because my grandmother was one of them. My grandmother was literally one of them. But, you know, like, some grandmothers like hold families together, and then you have some grandmothers that they don't care. They really don't care. They'll be like, okay, they're not talking. I don't care. You do have some grandmothers that's like that, because I know some that's like that. So that's why I can vouch and say that. But like, salute, Dawn. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Dawn said, "Who gives a damn?" I mean, I miss the old families. I lie to you not. I miss the old families. Like, you know, when it was love, when no one was talking about one another, no one was jealous of the other person, no one hated on the other person. Like, it was all love. If anything, if you had a degree or if you had a car, that would motivate you to want to get out there and bust your ass to get what that cousin or that aunt or that uncle has. That's how families was back in the days. But nowadays, with this generation we living in, like, fools could care less. They like, yo, she thinks she all that because she push a Range Rover. She thinks she all that because she got her PhD. She thinks she all that because of this. He think he all that because he got 3 cars, or he think he all that because he got 2 good jobs. Like, really and truly, you think that person is all that because you're the one that's worrying about it. B2B, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Some people are hurting over their families. You're right. I can see why. Don't get it twisted. I can see why. Like, I can see why some family members hate on the other family member. But, like, you don't have to let it be known. Me, personally, like, if you feel a way towards a family member, keep it to yourself. Don't go out there broadcasting it and make it an issue that it's making it something that it's not or that it shouldn't be. Like, keep it to yourself. Like, you know, keep it to yourself and you grind. You grind and you get out there and you do what you got to do. So then that person is not the only one the family member's going to talk about. They can talk about you too. Because you out there bust your ass and did what you had to do. So now you got 2 cars. Now you got a PhD or a master's. So now you up there with your cousin or your aunt or your uncle. You up there just as well as they are. If that's, you know, if it hurts you that bad, like, get out there and grind and bust your ass and get it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Crabs in a barrel. It's sad. It's really sad. Like, I'm happy for a lot of my family members who, you know, who's doing good, who probably wasn't doing good in the beginning, but now they're doing good, or now they, you know, they bust their ass, so they where they at, so they good. I'm proud. I love to see that. I would never hate on them, because at the end of the day, that's my family. I'm looking at them like, yo, I remember when that person couldn't get a job, but now look at that person. That person is working for a Fortune 500 company. Like, it's crazy. Tamara comment, my family is divided after my mom passed in 2003. I'm sorry to hear that, Tamara. My condolences. Still divided, no family reunion, nothing. Tamara, really and truly, it's the same for my family. It's the same for my family. My grandmother passed in 98. Yeah, 98. It was talks of family reunions in my family, but nothing happened. You want to know why? Because family members ain't talking to family members. So it's like, if you have a if my family have a family reunion, you got this side over here not talking to that side, and that side not talking to this side. So it's like everybody's just divided off. So it's like, what's the sense of having a family reunion if everybody going to be divided off like that? Like, that's corny. A family reunion is where everybody come together, and they mingling, they talking, they catching up. They like, yo, what's your number? We ain't speaking like over 15 years. Yeah, here's your number. We could get up and we could hang out and stuff like that. That's family reunions to me. Y'all on the grill, y'all grilling, y'all have stuff for the kids, like tents and stuff like that for the kids to play. Music, y'all just catching up. That's family reunions to me. But my family can't have no family reunion like that. So Tamara, I know exactly where you coming from with that. Like, I know exactly where you coming from. Someone has to be the bigger person and step up to bring the fan back together. B2B, you're absolutely right. But the thing is, who gonna be that bigger person? That's also another problem. Because people like, yo, I don't want to be the bigger person, then I get shut down. I don't want to be the bigger person and call this person and tell them like, yo, come over here, because then they gonna curse me out. So it's like, someone do have to be the bigger person, but it's like, it's who gonna be the bigger person? The problem is, just because people are family, you can't business with everybody. That's also true. That is so true. You can't business with everybody. You absolutely can't. You got to worry about yourself and yours. Keisha has a comment. Some family members just want attention. They make up full stories to play the victim when in reality they're just in their feelings about something that happened or something they took the wrong way. That's true. That's B2B. That's absolutely true. Too sensitive. Keisha, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right about that. Like, some families do. Man, listen, I could go on and on, but I don't want to throw nobody under the bus in my family. So I'm going to keep it anonymous. But you have some families that do want attention. They're attention hogs. Like, it's crazy. You are absolutely right about that, Keisha. Everybody has to be willing to cooperate, and distance has created barriers for some. Tamara, that's so true. People got to be willing to cooperate. Like, see, for me, I have some family members, like, I'm going to put it like this. I have family members that dislike me. For whatever reasons, to this day, I still don't know. Do it bother me? Am I losing sleep at night? No. And that's why, like, if my family was to have a family reunion, like, I would be the bigger person and go over to certain family members. Like, although I know they've talked about me and they've said this about me, whether it was false, whether it was true, I'll still go over to them like, yo, what up? Like, yeah, these my kids, da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. I live here, whatever. I'll extend that hand. Because at the end of the day, at least I know I tried. So God forbid now, and this is the sad part, God forbid if certain family members pass, it won't hurt me that much. I mean, it'll hurt me, but it won't hurt me that much because at the end of the day, I know, yo, I reached out to that person when I saw them at the family reunion. They didn't want to extend their hand, so I did my part. Like, I tried to reach out. They didn't want to reach out. And it's really sad because someone has to be the bigger person, but no one wants to be the bigger person. And it's sad because life is too short because look at 2016. So many celebrities that passed that you probably didn't even think was going to pass anytime soon. So, like, life is too short. Life is really too short because you don't want when that person passed and the only memory you have of that person is y'all was arguing or y'all cursed each other out or y'all, y'all say y'all was gonna square up when y'all see each other next time. Like, you don't want to have those memories because, trust me, it's gonna haunt you. It's gonna haunt you. And I'm living proof of that because of my grandmother. Like, I didn't get to say my last final words to my grandmother. So, when she passed, me and my mother and my brother, we got to the hospital like literally 10 minutes after she passed. So if we'd have got there 10 minutes earlier, we would have been the last faces she seen. But the last faces she seen was doctors. It wasn't her daughter. It wasn't her two grandsons. It was doctors. So that still, to this day, that still eats me up and play on me. And it bothers me to this day. But, I had to move on. Like, it's hard, but, I still think about it. Because my grandmother she was that grandmother. Like, that lady, she kept a lot of people in check. She wasn't afraid to give a little bus ass. She did her thing. So, it still hurts. Gotta come up with a plan. Reach out to the ones who you feel would be who you feel would be down to put a dinner or a reunion together. I mean, B2B, it's been talked about. It's been talked about. I mean, on my family part, like, it was talked about for family reunions, but no one wanted to be the bigger person. Everyone was literally like looking around like, yo, I wonder who gonna do it. I wonder who gonna do it. I wonder who gonna do it. And it's like, it never happened. It never happened. Facebook is a great tool to stay in touch with family members. Yeah, Facebook is a great tool. It's actually, it's an amazing tool because you can have family in Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad. Once they have Facebook, you can keep in touch with them. And now they have Facebook Live. You could see your family members. You can hit them up on Facebook Messenger and literally interact with them, a live conversation with them. Mine's is divided too. Maybe people that are not related need to get together and build a family. It doesn't have to be blood. I mean, Deborah, you're right. It's crazy because like a lot of families out here are divided. And that's what I'm talking about. Like the old school back in the days, like family was everything. It's like nowadays when certain family members, like, pass and go on, it's like that's when everyone like, yo, I'm not talking to nobody. They stay to themselves. They don't want to mess with nobody. They're like, yo, all right, such and such passed. I don't got to talk to that person anymore. I was only talking to that person because such and such was alive. But now such and such passed. I don't got to talk to that person. And that's corny. Because life is too short at the end of the day. Life is too short. Use it to pass on to others, to their love. Others to love their grandmother. Marilyn, is that Marilyn? Yeah, Marilyn. I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. Pass it on to others to love their grandmothers. Because nowadays, with this generation also, like, people take their grandmothers for granted. Like, their grandmothers could be telling them stuff for their own good, and they just like, yeah, granny, I know. I got you, granny. And then they get caught up in the jam, and who they think about? Damn. Yo, my grandmother was telling me about that. My grandmother was telling me to watch the company I keep. My grandmother was telling me this, telling me that. And then it's too late. Then next thing you know, you possibly got a murder charge. Or next thing you know, you possibly got a drug charge. And you about to go up and do a bid, and your grandmother was trying to prevent that from happening by talking to you. But nowadays, the generation, they don't want to listen. They do not want to listen. Absolutely, family was everything, but today families are so spaced out. You're right. Family is so spaced out nowadays. And you want to know something too? Families only come together for what? Families only come together for what? For funerals. Funerals. And that's crazy. Families should not come together only for funerals. You'll be lucky if families come together for a wedding. You will really be lucky if families come together for a wedding. Like nowadays, like families just only come together for funerals. And then when families do come together for for funerals, if they weren't talking, they still not gonna talk at that funeral. I'm saying this from experience. I've seen it. I've seen it done right in front of my eyes. You know, certain people not talking, but you think for a family, they'll come together and be like, yo, when you speak for like 10 years, they'll forget that. Life too short. Look at, that's our cousin right there in that casket, or that's our grandmother in that casket. Life is too short. You would think that would be talked about, but no. They continue to stay to the side with their little family, their immediate family, and they like, yo, I just came to pay my respects and then I'm leaving. Like, that should not be the case. That should not be the case. Keisha comment, the way this generation disrespected grandmothers and grandfathers is sad. I would have got slapped, but my entire family, I would have got slapped by my entire family if I ever disrespected my granny or papa. You're right. I would have got slapped too. I would have got slapped too. Like, my grandmother didn't play that. If my grandmother wasn't, like, I know some could probably relate to this, but if I was talking to someone in front of my grandmother and I was disrespectful to that person, my grandmother will balk at me, or she'll probably ring me by my ears and then probably give me a slap behind my head to tell me like, yo, that's a grown up. Don't you disrespect that person. That's what my grandmother would have did. And I'm quite sure some of you out there, grandmothers, probably would have did the same thing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the only time families come together is for funerals and weddings. But like I said, sometimes for weddings, because, you know, if someone getting married and they don't talk to that person, they're not going to show up. And if they do show up, they just going to show up to talk about you. Like, let's be real. Y'all all know that. They're going to show up just to talk about you. Like, oh, you saw her dress? Mind you, this is your family now. They're talking about their family. Like, yo, you saw her dress? Yo, you saw what her husband looked like? You saw what he wearing? Oh, that ain't fit him. That look ugly on him. That look ugly on her. Like, that is corny. That is literally corny. Like, if you want to show up to that wedding, show up with a good heart. Show up and be like, yo, congratulations, cousin. Congratulations, auntie. Congratulations, niece. Congratulations, nephew. Like, show up with that mindset. Don't show up just to talk about the person or take pictures to, you know, go show it to everybody. Like, oh, look what he was wearing. Look what she was wearing. That's corny. Kids are to be seen and not heard was the saying my grandmother said. You're absolutely right. Marilyn, you are absolutely right. My grandmother said the same thing, as well as my mother. She still say the same thing. So you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. I mean, it's crazy. Like I said earlier, I would have never thought over the years, like, things would have changed. I thought things would have stayed the same forever. Forgive me for saying this, being naive, but I really thought things would have stayed the same. Like, I thought families would have stayed close. You know, like, everyone would have been talking to everyone. Like, I thought all that would have stayed the same. Because for me growing up, I would, like, it'll be Friday night. My mother would be on the phone talking to all her sisters, all her brothers, her nieces, her nephews. Like, that would be my Friday night, like, looking at my mother in the house. But it's like, as time went by, people got older. It's like all that vanished. That disappeared. That literally disappeared. And if it could all come back, I would love for it to come back. Because like I said, family is everything. Like, and my family is big. I don't need friends. Like, my family could be my friends. That's how big my family is. Like, my family is, my background is Guyanese, and our family line is like crazy. Like, it's humongous. So I don't need friends because I have family. Like, I have family, but people would choose their friends over their family. Mr. Green, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. For all those that's now tuning in, if you could please, I appreciate it if you could just click the share button at the bottom of your screen and, just share this out to all your Facebook friends and, have everyone tuning in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Because these episodes only going to get more and more interesting. Like, I'm going to talk about shit that nobody else going to talk about. And if they do talk about it, they ain't going to be real about it. I'm going to be real about mine. And that's just what it is. But yeah, like, family, shit changed. Shit really changed. It starts with us. We have to teach the younger generation the importance of family. You're right. We do. But I don't know if you was on earlier when I said this, Marilyn, but the older people, like two sisters could not be talking. And just because those two sisters aren't talking, they'll brainwash their kids to not talk to their cousin. And that's corny. That goes on in my family. It's like, if two sisters aren't talking, let it be between two sisters. But don't brainwash the kids to have the kids feeling like, oh, I don't got to talk to my cousin. Oh, I don't got to talk to my auntie. Like, that's where the disrespect comes in. Because the two sisters aren't talking. So the kids feel like, yo, my mother not talking to your mother, so I don't got to talk to you. Like, the chain has to be broken somewhere. Like, it has to be broken somewhere down the line. Like, that is corny. Because you're not talking to your sister or your brother. You tell your kids not to talk to their aunt or their uncle. Like, if it was up to me to put people on blast, man, listen, I'll put a lot of my family members on blast. A lot. But, I ain't even going to put them. I feel they're not important for me to even do that. So that's why I ain't even going to take it there. But, yeah, Marilyn, it is crazy. It is crazy. But I've seen it done in front of my own two eyes. I've seen sisters tell their kids, don't talk to that your little cousin. Don't talk to this cousin. And mind you, that's their first cousins. Like, it's two sisters. And just because the two sisters aren't talking, they brainwash their kids to not talk to their cousins. Like, when I see that, like, my mind be like, really? Like, you really gonna do that? Like, I'd be like, it's bugged out, man. It's bugged out. It is crazy. Like I said, like, I have family members who don't talk to me for whatever reasons. That's their reasons. But at the end of the day, they can't come to my face to tell me their reasons. So what they going to do? They're going to just keep their distance and talk about me from a distance. Now, nowadays, what people say they real, right? They say they real. They bite their tongue for no one, blah, 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 blah. So if you bite your tongue for no one, if you know you you don't like someone in your family, go up to them and tell them. Don't talk about them behind their back. Because what you're doing, you're talking behind their back. So this is what's going to happen. The third party is going to go and rearrange the whole conversation and say stuff that you didn't even say. So why go through all that when you could be the horse with the mouth and go to that other horse with the mouth and be like, yo, I don't like you for such and such, blah, blah, blah. So right then and there, no one can say nothing else was thrown in there because both parties, they said what they had to say face to face. They didn't tell this cousin and that cousin went and switched it up and was like, oh yeah, she said when she sees she gonna slap you. No, when she ain't say nothing like that. Oh yeah, he said when he gonna punch you in your face in front of your girl. No, when he ain't say nothing like that. That's why people need to man up and stop with this third party business. Like, if you got a disagreement with a family member, see that person whenever you see them and you discuss it. That's why a lot of my family don't know who I dislike from who I don't dislike because I don't talk about it. And really and truly is not important. That's why I don't even talk about it. For whatever reason, I might not like a certain family member. In my family, that's my reason. I keep it to myself. Whenever I feel I'm ready to broadcast it and put it out there, I'm not going to put it out there like that. I'm going to be a man and I'm going to go to that family member and tell them straight to their face. Because what you can say, like, oh, Jay came to me and he threw everything out there on the line. Yeah, I came to you. I didn't go say it to my cousin for my cousin to come back to say it to you a whole different way. No, I came to you like a man. Because I was raised as a man, raised to be a man. Grandmother would put a stop to that. Her words would be, all you have is family. You have to take care of each other. You're right, Marilyn. You're absolutely right. That's why I say grandmother's whole family's together at the end of the day. And it's crazy, but it's just that love for grandmothers. Like it's that love. It's really that love. Absolutely, the love should be real. Any issue should be resolved. That's the problem. Family no longer stick together. You're right. Family don't stick together. Nowadays, families don't stick together. Families do not stick together. They would rather talk about you and talk down to you rather than uplift you and talk to you as a man or as a woman and be like, yo, I got a disagreement with you, so, I'm going to holler at you face to face. Families are too divided nowadays. They're too divided. And it's sad because next time you see your family member, it's like at funerals. And you should not be seeing a family member that you ain't seen like 15, 20 years at a funeral. Y'all should occasionally be, staying in contact. Like, yo, let's go get some drinks, or let's go catch a play, or let's go get some food. Like, that's what should go on. We have family meetings. Any issues we deal with and resolve the problem, the next day things are back to normal. I mean, family meetings would be good. It would be good. I can't see my family doing that, but if that chain could be broken, then I would be down for it. Because especially like if you have a big family, you should want to get to have family reunions or family meetings, because you don't want to go out there in the world and you get in a disagreement with someone and you trying to hurt this person. And then at the end of the day, you find out that's your family member you trying to hurt. Because your family's so big, y'all not having no meetings, y'all not having no family reunions for everyone to get to know each other. For everyone to see each other, for everyone to see their line, their family tree line. To be like, oh, that's my cousin, oh, that's my uncle, oh, that's this, that's that. Like, all of those are needed. I truly agree. Those are really needed. That's because everyone belongs to the grandmother. I mean, you're right. I'm the grandmother, I nip it in the butt. I mean, Marilyn, I salute you. You doing the right thing. I salute you. These families need to get back together, man. They need to, bury the hatchet for whatever reason. Like, whatever reason you're not talking to your certain family member, like, put that shit to bed. Like, let that shit rest. Because at the end of the day, like I said, when that family member die, only thing you can hold on to is like, yo, I wasn't talking to this person for whatever bullshit reason. Because at the end of the day, that's what I feel it is. It's bullshit. That's so very true. Marilyn, old school works. It do work. It do. That's why this generation need to get back. They need to get on their grind, man. They really need to get on their grind. Because people should not be meeting up at funerals. They really should not. But I mean, like, all of that is ups and downs. And like I said, all that could be, resolved. All of it could be resolved, but it's just who gonna be that bigger person? Who gonna step up the plate and be that bigger person? That's the thing right there. Like, who gonna be that bigger person? Some people don't want to do it because they feel like, oh, they might get cursed out, they might get screamed on, they might get embarrassed. So then that's why these families stay, in a shell or stay in their little corner, trying to stay in it. They stay in their little corner. But it's really crazy because families should stick together. Families really should stick together. You should not be putting water over blood. You should not be putting your friends over your family. It should be family over everything. It really should be family over everything. Like, I don't get it. Life is too short. You know, people going outside, dying, getting hit by cars, you know, just dying for whatever reason. And when that person passed, all you could think of is y'all weren't talking for whatever reason. When it could have been buried and you could have been talking to that person and have a clean slate on your heart, knowing, God forbid, if that person do pass, like, at least we mended our differences. Like, you wouldn't want that? I don't get it. Our young generations are lacking role models. Yep, that's so very true. They don't have aunts and uncles to look up to. People are in their 50s and still soul searching. You're right. You are right, B2B. People are in their 50s and still soul searching. And that's what I said on a couple of episodes before. Like, these kids need role models. A lot of these kids nowadays need role models. Like, granted, I discredit no woman for playing both roles, but sometimes, like, the boys need a father in their life or a role model. If it's not their father, it could be their uncle or their cousin, but they need some role model in their life, someone to keep them grounded. A woman can't do it alone, like to raise a man, to raise a boy, actually. So, like, these kids nowadays, they need role models in their lives. They really do. The generations today have so much pride. Yeah, they do. They do have so much pride. I pray give it to God and let life hit them in the face. Life will teach you whether kids are ready or not. That's true. Life will teach you that. Some have to learn the hard, and some do have to learn the hard way. And it's sad they shouldn't have to learn the hard way when they could just, you know, do what's right. They shouldn't have to learn the hard way. No one, like, if your grandmother is telling you don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, she's telling you that for a reason. Or if your grandfather's telling you don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, he's telling you for a reason. Why? Because him or she probably went through it years before, many years before you, so they know what's the outcome going to be. So they telling you not to do something for a reason. Like, sometimes you gotta take that advice. Like, they telling you don't go there with that person, with that friend, don't go. Because then when you get jammed up, you looking like, damn, my grandmother and my grandfather told me not to go here with this person. Now look, I'm jammed up. Yeah, trust me. I know, Marilyn. Trust me. They certainly do need real men in their lives. You said it. You're right. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I mean, it's unfortunate that a lot of kids grow up without fathers and role models in their lives, but, you know, if you can keep your kids with a role model in their life, do it. Do it. I mean, granted, if it's not about you and the person no more, it's about them kids. So whatever it takes to make them kids happy or to grow those kids into young men and women, you got to do what you got to do. My grandmother told me one time, then I would feel the belt. My grandmother told me the same thing one time with that belt, and I never wanted them licks because them licks used to hurt. First 10 seconds, you got 10 likes and hearts from me, my brother. Who's Eric? Alexander Eric. Salute. I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. You know, I'm here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. So, you know, you gotta, you know, check me out. Click that share button, spread the love. Like, I'm talking shit that others ain't gonna talk about. They scared for whatever reason, but I'm not scared. I'm gonna talk that talk. If I could change a life or two, why not? Why not? Very powerful and true what you're speaking on. Thank you. I appreciate that. I truly appreciate that. That means a lot to me. That really means a lot to me. I mean, I think everybody for tuning in. Like like I said, it's more episodes coming. It's more gritty, real stuff that's gonna be talked about. So I appreciate everyone that's tuning in, everyone that's retweeting, everyone that's clicking the share button, everyone that's clicking the likes, the hearts. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. Like, that's from the heart. That's really from the heart. And thank you for sharing it too. Salute, salute. But yeah, man, like, family back in the days was everything to me. It was everything. But now with this generation, like, it's like family is nothing. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you. I mean, yeah, my whole life growing up, I've been a real person, like, and I don't speak on it heavy. That's, I'm not one of them dudes like, yo, I'm a real dude. I'm a real dude. Like, my actions speak for itself. Like, my actions speak for itself. And I feel if you real and you whatever, like a big homie, whatever the case is, like, it speak for itself. It really do speak for itself. But yeah, this generation now that we have, like, there's so many kids that's lost, like, and it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. Like, no parent should have to be burying their child. Like, how the saying go, the kid's supposed to bury the parents, right? The parents should not have to be burying the kids. But how this generation is going, it's like parents is burying the kids. And it's because a lot of these kids nowadays, they want to grow up too fast. They want to grow up too fast, and they should slow their roll. But, they just want to grow up too fast. Marilyn, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We do have to be the change we want to see. And that's why, as parents and whatever, parents, grandparents, grandfathers, whatever, we need to set that example and bring these kids back. Bring back that old school. Because I lie to you not, like, this generation I'm growing up in, I'd rather grow up in the generation I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s. Like, I'd rather that generation. This generation here, I don't like it. Like, all I'm seeing with these kids is disrespect, no manners, and just don't care for anything. They don't care for anything, and it breaks my heart when I see that. Like, when I could be traveling to work, like, I could see how these kids be on the trains and buses talking reckless, and it could be like a 76-year-old lady sitting right there, and they cursing right in front of the lady, and I'm looking like, yo, that wasn't me when I was 17, 18. That was not me. I had respect. Like, if we was talking about something that was reckless, we wouldn't talk about it on the train or the bus. We'll wait till we get off and we're amongst ourselves. That's how I was brought up. I'm not going to be on no train or no bus. Yeah, yo, when I see that nooker, yeah, she could suck my... I'm not going to do all that on no bus or no train. Because I'm disrespecting not only the people on the train, but I'm disrespecting myself. Because then that's showing I wasn't raised right. That's showing my mother didn't raise me right. That's showing I was raised by what? By wolves or animals? And I don't want people to view me in that light. Like, no. No. I was raised right, and I'm a show that I was raised right. It is what it is. It is what it is. Marilyn, you are absolutely right. They do feel they got a death wish. And it's like, why y'all got a death wish for? Like, live your life. There's so much out here in this beautiful world. Like, you could travel, you could go places, like, live. Like, all these young black brothers and sisters, just live. Like, you don't need no early death wish. When time comes and the Lord is ready for you, he's ready for you. But don't go out there knocking on death's door like, knock. Like, don't go out there and do that. Like, live your life. Travel. It's so much out here in this world for everyone to see. You don't have to be grounded in the state that you live in. You can travel and go to an island. You could go to another state. You could go wherever. Just live. Like, just live. Like what's the saying? Love, live, life, or something like that. Like love, live, and life. Like real talk. Real talk. But everyone, it's 9:02. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I appreciate you guys. Like, I really appreciate you guys. I said it earlier, but Happy New Year. Happy 2017 to everyone. Hope this year bring everything your heart desire and you want and fulfill. So, this is my first episode for 2017. Episode number 6. But, thank you, people. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for clicking them hearts and them thumbs up buttons. Thank you. Next week, I'm bringing more heat. So y'all just tune in with me every Tuesday, 8 p.m. So, I'm here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. But as I always say before I end my episodes, if it's anything you want to talk about, any topics you probably want to touch, you can shoot me an email. We could talk about it. I do check my emails frequently, daily. So, just shoot me an email. Yeah, as well, if you want to follow me on Facebook, I'm on Facebook, Jay Richards. So I'm up there on Facebook, Jay Richards. Follow me and, holla at me. I'm down to earth. I talk to all those. I show love. I support. I do all of that. But if you want to shoot me an email, my email address is actorjayrichards@gmail.com. Once again, that's actorjayrichards@gmail.com. So, just shoot me an email, anything you want to talk about, any topic you want me to touch, discuss, just holler at me. I support and I show love. But thank you once again, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Jay's Spot. I appreciate you all. I salute you. Thank you for rocking with me. We on the 6th episode. Next week, we on 7. Just keep rocking with me. Just keep rocking with me. I appreciate you guys. So enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your 2017. And we'll be back next Tuesday. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try to keep speaking that truth and that knowledge. Once people listening and they out there, I'm gonna speak that truth. So thank you once again, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I salute you guys, and I'll see you next Tuesday.